Power doesn't acknowledge weakness. It doesn't slow down for it. And it certainly doesn't respect it. If you've ever wondered why powerful people don't take you seriously, why they brush you off, skip over you, or look through you like glass, it's not because they're cruel. It's because you don't register as a threat. You don't register at all. And that's your fault. In a world built on dominance and hierarchy, the man who plays soft dies in silence. You think only being nice will get you noticed. It won't. You think being agreeable all the time will earn you a seat at the table. You'll be lucky to get the crumbs. Powerful people are predators. They scan every room looking for one thing: value, leverage, advantage. If you offer none, you become none. Now here's the truth. No one dares to say you're being ignored because of weak habits you think are harmless. But they're rotting your presence from the inside out. These habits whisper to the world, I'm safe. I'm soft. I pose no challenge. Overlook me, so the world obliges. This video is not for the faint-hearted. It's a raw, unfiltered dive into the top 10 bad habits that make influential people. Ignore You, inspired by Machiavellian psychology. Over the next few minutes, you'll discover the silent killers of your presence and power. Habits so destructive they bury your value before you even speak. If you want to command respect, gain leverage, and be remembered, you must understand these truths and act on them. Before we start, smash that like button if you're ready to take control of your power. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss the psychological tactics that will reshape your mindset and your life. Now, let's get into it. 1. The curse of comfort. Comfort is not peace, it's poison. It's the silent killer of potential, the invisible cage men build with their own hands. You think you're living, but you're slowly fading. Wake, routine, scroll, sleep, repeat. No chaos, no fire, no growth. Comfort seduces you with soft lies. Play it safe. Don't risk it. Protect your peace. But here's the brutal truth. Comfort doesn't protect you. It erases you. Day by day, your edge dulls. Your hunger dies. Your presence fades. You speak and the world doesn't listen. You walk in and no one notices. You've become invisible. Powerful men feel it. They scan the room and skip you. No energy, no danger, no weight behind your words. You've become forgettable. Why? Because you traded discomfort for dopamine. And in doing so, you gave up the very pressure that turns men into legends. You think avoiding stress is strength? No. It's self-destruction in slow motion. Discomfort is your battlefield. It sharpens your instincts. It demands your evolution. Want to be remembered? Run toward what scares you. Speak when silence feels safe. Act when others freeze. Build when all you have is dust. Say no when the world begs you to say yes. Because the truth is this: men are never broken by pain. They are broken by comfort. So stop chasing safety. Start chasing the fire. Let the pressure shape you, or let the comfort erase you. Your legacy begins where your comfort ends. 2. The craving for approval. The silent poison of fragile men. There's a certain look that betrays them, not in their clothes, but in their eyes. A desperate flicker. Please like me. Please see me. They hide it behind polite smiles, borrowed confidence, and soft voices pretending to be humble. But it leaks through, and it reeks. You can't mask the hunger for validation. It has a scent. A scent the powerful recognize instantly and despise, not because they're cruel, but because they don't feed weakness. They eliminate it. You think needing approval makes you more relatable? It doesn't. It makes you replaceable. It makes you soft, predictable, easy to manipulate, and worst of all, forgettable. Validation is the addiction of the ruled, not the ruler. When you wait for applause, you surrender your power. When someone's opinion decides your mood, they don't admire you. They control you. They don't see a man. They see a marionette. Think of the greats. Marcus Aurelius, Machiavelli, Napoleon. Do you think they asked the world for permission to be great? No. They walked like giants before anyone noticed their steps. They didn't request respect. They commanded it by acting like they didn't need it. You want to be unforgettable? Stop asking for agreement. Speak like your truth is unshakable. Want to have presence? Say what must be said, even if it offends, even if no one claps. That's the line between a leader and a lapdog. People don't follow desperation, they follow certainty. When you enter a room needing no one, everyone starts wondering who you are. But when your eyes beg for reassurance, they don't see a man. They see a boy. So here's your new law. Don't chase validation. Trigger it. Ignore it. But never depend on it. Your power begins where their approval ends. 3. The clumsy tongue. A sharp mind means nothing if the tongue is dull. Most men destroy their image not through failure, but through speech. Long before action even begins, they ramble, stumble, fill the air with apologies, fillers, and empty words. They bury their message beneath fluff, chasing clarity they never reach. And in those moments, powerful people stop listening, not because they're rude, but because they're efficient. They don't decode stutters. They don't interpret weak phrasing. They read your words like X-rays, revealing hesitation, insecurity, and lack of discipline. In Machiavellian psychology, speech isn't mere expression, it's revelation. It exposes how you think, how you handle pressure, how much control you truly have over your inner world. A man who speaks with sharpness owns the room. A man who mumbles, overexplains, or stutters mid-sentence is quietly marked unready. And powerful people do not trust the unready. Weak speech reveals a weak mind. A passive tone reflects a passive soul. Disorganized words point to a disorganized life. No one will tell you to your face. But in silence, you'll be labeled a liability. And in the world of power, that label is permanent. So train your tongue like a blade. Speak only when you mean something. Eliminate verbal clutter. No no like, no you know. Use silence like a sniper uses stillness. Strategic, chilling, exact. Because in the game of power, the man who speaks carelessly dies silently. 4. The praise addiction, the silent trap that owns you. Most men don't want power. They want permission to feel valuable. They call it respect, but it's really just a hunger for praise. A few kind words, a pat on the back, a smile of approval. That's all it takes to sedate them. You start twisting your voice to sound agreeable, diluting your strength to avoid conflict. You play nice not because it's right, but because you're addicted to, well done. You bend. You perform. You seek applause like a beggar seeks coins, and you don't even see the chains tightening. Praise isn't harmless. It's control. A psychological leash disguised as encouragement. And the people clapping for you, they're not always your fans. Sometimes, they're your handlers. This is the oldest Machiavellian tactic in history. Feed them compliments, and you feed their obedience. Reward their loyalty, and you own their soul. Because a man who needs praise is a man who can be broken by silence. They'll keep you starving, offering just enough validation to keep you chasing. And when you finally step out of line, silence, and it'll eat you alive. But the man who no longer needs to be liked becomes untouchable. He draws power from solitude, clarity from rejection, and momentum from being misunderstood. He doesn't fear the absence of applause. He expects it. And that's what makes him terrifying. You want to be powerful? Then kill the addiction. Let them withhold their approval. Let them gossip. Let them clap for someone else. Because the moment you stop performing for praise, you stop being a puppet and start becoming the puppeteer. 5. The cracked core. There's a silent rot that repels the powerful. And it's not weakness, it's instability. Confidence isn't loud. It isn't ego. It's a stillness, a grounded presence that says, I exist without your permission. But when your core is cracked, when doubt seeps through your words, your walk, your very presence, you broadcast one thing to the powerful. I can't be trusted. Not because they hate you, but because you're a liability, a shaky foundation. And no one builds anything meaningful on top of cracks. You think they don't notice? They do, instinctively. The way your eyes dart for approval, the way your voice stutters, trying too hard to please, the way your smile folds under pressure. It's not invisible. It's repulsive. Because confidence is magnetic. But insecurity, it's radioactive. It poisons every room you enter. You overanalyze, you hesitate, you shrink to fit. And every move you make screams, I don't believe in myself. Here's the truth. Confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something you decide. Before the applause, before the results, before anyone gives you permission. You don't become confident when you succeed. You succeed because you chose to be confident. Stand like the ground belongs to you. Speak like your voice cuts through noise. Move like doubt died in you years ago. Because if your core is cracked, if you're still begging for certainty, you'll never hold power. And worse, the world will see right through you and never look again. 6. The echo of insecurity. Why overexplaining destroys your power. Powerful people don't explain. They state. They command. They act. If they speak, it's minimal, deliberate, final. But you explain everything. Why you were late. Why you said what you said. Why you want what you want. Every time you explain, you bleed power. Over-explaining is a weak man's disease. It tells the world, I don't trust myself. I need you to like me. I'll bend my truth to stay accepted. Powerful people don't like that. They don't trust it. Every extra word smells like fear. You think your explanations will earn understanding? They won't. They trigger disgust. In dominance hierarchies, silence is strength, certainty is control, excess is exposure. Each time you explain unasked, you beg for acceptance, and powerful people see it. They want decisiveness and directness, energy that says, "I said it, that's enough." You want presence? Cut your words in half. You want influence? Say what you mean once, then shut up and hold the silence. You're not a courtroom witness. You don't owe people a speech. You're building a throne. So next time you feel the urge to explain, pause, breathe, then say less. Power doesn't argue, it enforces. 7. The fairness fantasy. Why playing fair makes you powerless. You've been sold the lie that playing fair will be rewarded. But the Machiavellian truth is, the world isn't fair, it's strategic. Powerful people don't play fair, they play smart. They don't wait their turn, they take it. They don't hope for balance, they tilt the game. You think fairness is noble. They see it as naivete. Every time you expect justice, you make yourself vulnerable. You get offended when others break the rules. You hesitate, waiting for fairness like a referee. But the man who plays fair gets left behind, because fairness is based on hope, and the powerful don't operate on hope. They operate on leverage. You think hard work and patience will balance things out? They won't. Unless you force the balance, build advantage, and bend the rules like they do. You want respect from the powerful? Stop whining about fairness. Stop focusing on equality. Be strategic, not sentimental. Be calculating, not compliant. In this world, the man who demands fairness ends up serving the one who doesn't. 8. Emotional transparency. The fastest way to get played. The world does not care how you feel. Powerful people weaponize your emotions the moment you expose them. You've been told vulnerability is strength, that being real brings connection, loyalty, understanding. Lies. Vulnerability can be powerful only when it's controlled, when it's a tool, not a leak. But most men bleed their emotions. You rant when you're frustrated. You overshare when you're lonely. You break down in front of the wrong people, thinking they'll admire your honesty. They won't. They'll smile, nod, then file away every weakness you just handed them and use it against you. In power psychology, information is currency, and your emotional transparency is free gold. Powerful people test your limits, push your buttons, manipulate your needs. They study your wounds like a map to your destruction. You think you're building connection, you're building your own trap. The Machiavellian correction is to master your emotions. Control when and how they appear. Speak in facts, not feelings. Show calm in chaos. Give nothing away for free. Cold doesn't mean emotionless. Cold means composed, tactical, unreadable. Silence is armor. Control is king. 9. The mouth that bleeds power. Why talking too much gets you ignored. One habit kills your influence faster than failure. Talking excessively. You ramble, explain, fill silence with noise, and every time you do, you lose presence. The more you speak, the more you reveal, and the easier you are to control. In Machiavellian psychology, speech is a weapon, not therapy. A man who talks too much is a man without discipline, a man who fears silence. But silence is where the powerful live. It creates mystery and tension. It forces others to reveal themselves first, while you remain unreadable. Powerful people don't respect constant talkers, they use them. You spill thoughts and they calculate how to turn your words into leverage. That joke you told, that insecurity you revealed, that dream you shared too early, they file it, index it, store it against you. You've already lost. The Machiavellian way is to speak when it matters. Cut your words like a blade, sharp, minimal, final. Let others talk themselves into weakness while you stay still and in control. In a room full of talkers, the silent man is most feared. Power is not loud, it's deliberate. 10. The identity drift. Why not knowing who you are makes you powerless. If you don't know who you are, the world will decide for you, and what it chooses won't be power. It'll be convenience, usefulness, background noise. Weak men drift. They mimic, adjust their personality for approval, switch masks based on who's watching. That's not personality. That's submission. Powerful people spot this immediately and discard it, because someone who lacks identity lacks backbone, and someone without a backbone can't be trusted in chaos. Your identity isn't your job, status, or social group. It's what remains when all of that is ripped away. Your code, your internal constitution, your unshakable center. If you don't have that, you're not a man, you're an echo. You'll adapt, fold, become whatever earns the least resistance, and that makes you useless in power dynamics. Power respects edge. Men who know who they are and what they are not. The moment you drop the act and stand on your own voice, the game changes. You don't need to be loud or popular, but you do need to be solid. When people interact with you, they should feel weight, conviction, finality. The man who doesn't drift commands presence even in silence. If you found this video valuable, don't just watch, take action. Leave a comment below. Which bad habit surprised you the most? Which one do you struggle with? Sharing your thoughts helps us build a stronger, more powerful community. Remember, power ignores weakness, but power respects unapologetic presence. So start today. Drop the habits that hold you back. Stand tall, speak with conviction, and make sure the world can't ignore you anymore. Like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this. Power is contagious. Spread it. See you in the next video.